Feet, and we're here. Alright, Rebel Film Talk, and we're here today with Torius. What's good, Torius? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Space Jones.
Alright, so Torius, he's in the building.
Are you called Space Jones on here?
Yeah, Space Jones. Well, Chris and Space Jones. I don't know. I use both.
Oh, okay.
Just to familiarize. So, guys, today we got Torius. He's a guy I met as a rapper about a year ago through his popular video where I park my car, and he had like 1,000 views, and since then he's started his own sort of interview podcast series called 6 Feet Interviews, and he's been able to interview a lot of really big individuals on the underground circuit. So talk about that.
I mean, it's been pretty lit. Like, I didn't expect. Well, I've always wanted to do interviews, but I just never had a spot to do it at, because I knew like I was gonna interview a lot of rappers, and they like to come with like 12 deep, 15 deep, like, you know, like, so I didn't really want a lot of people in my crib. So I was just like, it's like stopped me from doing it for a while.
So you've been wanting to do this for a long time before you started.
Yeah.
So when did you actually start?
I started last June, of 2017, June of 2017. That's when I did my first interview with Skater Montez.
That was your first one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tight.
So me and Skater I started doing it with Skater Montez because he also wanted to do the ideas. So then he was like pushing me like, yo, we should start it. I'm like, yeah, you're right, but I gotta find a spot first. So then we found the spot, and then that's when we actually started doing the interviews.
And where was the spot?
I don't like saying it. I don't want people to know where I go.
It's humbling though.
Nah, yeah.
It's like the grind. It's like anybody could do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you gotta find a spot, and then like that's it.
How was it like inviting people to the spot? Like, did you feel like sort of like, damn, like, what are they gonna think? Or you were just like, I don't care, I'm trying to get this interview in?
No, I didn't care what they thought. I care about what people there thought of me, because I didn't like bringing people, because it was like out of school, so it's like a lot of them, they don't go to school, but I do. So it's like I go there every day, and they would like talk shit about people there, and it would like kind of embarrass me. So it's like, damn, like.
So they were like, when you would come in, they would roast you, or they would roast the people you bring in?
Yeah, they would just like make it obvious that they don't go to school, and I was like, I didn't feel like I was supposed to be doing that, but then like at the same, because I felt like they were gonna say something about it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's school though. It's like anything for the knowledge, you know.
Nah, yeah.
You're doing your own version of schooling, you know. You're putting people on.
I think you have to be a student to like go to where I was, but I wasn't sure. I just brought them.
Yeah. So who was your second interview? Your first was Skater Montez.
No, he wasn't my first.
Oh, he wasn't your first?
I did it with him. I was doing it with him.
Oh, you started with him.
Yeah.
And what happened? Did he just sort of left you to continue?
He was always doing his own thing. So
yeah,
I felt like
his own vlog.
You know, like, cause I was just like hitting up people, cause I wanted to do it like every day.
Yeah.
So
I saw you were doing that, and I was like, bro, like, good luck to you, because the thing is, you're gonna run out of people.
Nah, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I started it because I knew so many people. I was like, you know what? I know all these people. They'll probably want to interview. So
who were like the top people you thought of that when you started? Like, who were the people that you're like, okay, I think these people I can get?
Kid Trunks, Louis Savage, Mason Antenna. Like, pretty much like the members only people that were always throwing shows and stuff. Like while they're here. You.
So when you started, like, you basically were like, you were more like a fan, right? Like, you would go to the shows and stuff, and you would know these people from like going to the shows. And that's why you had like more of a relationship with them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, you know, I'll just hit them up. But then at that same time, they were on tour. So like everyone, it was funny because when I started, like right before I started, they were all here. But then once I started, they all left. So it was like kind of funny how that happened. I
feel like you got really lucky because like the time you're starting was like really strong for like the Florida movement with the music, with like the underground scene.
I feel like I wasn't lucky. I feel like the opposite.
Why?
Because I had been at the shows when X and them were there, like X and Ski Mask, like when they were like a lot smaller and Lil Pump. So I wish I had started like when Mars started, because when Mars started, they weren't so big. So you see like Lil Pump's interview still up, Extension's interview still up, like all of them. He has them. You know, I feel like the luck is just like created if you're just consistent.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So when do you think would have been a good time to start? Like
once I got the idea.
And when was that? That was
like a long ass time ago.
Oh, a long time ago?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that's true. So like that's so yeah, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, I think it was interesting because you sort of like started and you were interviewing a lot of underground people, and I was telling you like I feel like there's kind of a market for that because like besides like No Jumper, nobody else is doing that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So like you got a lot of people that like to talk and stuff, and like they want to like represent themselves.
Yeah, and people want to show like this is, you know, I'm from Florida. I want people to know about me, like, you know, get more exposure too.
And how did you come up with your signature let's put our thing on vibrate real quick.
Yeah, real quick.
So how did you come up with your signature like style of iPhone sound recording?
I mean, at first I didn't even record with the iPhone. Like I had brought cuz I engineer all my music. So I had brought all my engineering stuff, like I brought my mic, my interface, my like computer, like, you know, even speakers and everything. I had brought all that stuff, but that's a lot of carry, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this every day. So like I need something compact, you know? So it's like the phone, I always have my phone with me. You know, it's like if like I run, like I've done a lot of interviews on the spot, so it's like I can't always have like all the equipment with me. So I was like, you know what, I have my phone, let me just make the best of it.
You know, something I was wondering like how you go about like doing it where like somebody doesn't call you or message you and like it goes off or something. Like have you like, do you put it on airplane mode before you start?
Nah, I just edit it all out.
You edit it out?
Yeah.
So like if somebody just calls you in the middle of like a big interview?
This happened a lot of times.
For real, I was like,
Like,
I was wondering, I was like, oh, does he have like a second phone that's not in service that he just uses?
I just edit it out. I did videos, man. I did all my videos, so I know how to edit.
Oh, okay. So that's cool because it looked pretty seamless for the most part.
Nah, yeah, cause I'm pretty good at it.
Okay. Swag on him. All right. So yeah, like has there been any interview that you lost due to like the camera not recording or like the audio not coming out or something?
I lost one guy's interview. I gotta do it over. I mean, all the time. Like sometimes the camera is not on. I'm like, fuck. So I have to like take one part and just put it here. Like since I've been recording with GFX, like his thing has a 30-minute limit, and I like to talk a lot and like have people like go for like minutes and minutes.
Yeah.
So like he's like, yo, wrap it up, and I'm like, all right. So I'm wrapping it up, but they keep talking. So then it cuts off after like 30 minutes. So like I gotta like take that footage and put it here. And like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the problem I found too with like I have a bunch of DSLRs but they only recorded like 12 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah. So like
I just go to the camera and just press it again.
So you just started again. Yeah, I know. It's just like kind of awkward because you're just like, hold on.
You don't notice. Like with my camera, I just flip it so I can see if it's recording. Or I just tell like whoever, like one of their friends that they bring, I'm like, yo, you're gonna be the camera person. If you see it doesn't say record anymore, just press it again.
So, just for the people watching this stuff, like name a couple of the interviews that you got, like some of the bigger ones and stuff. Bigger names, I meant.
I've done Adam from No Jumper, Warhol, Lil Tracy, Kid Trunks, Dirty Face Smook, YesJulz, Lofty 305, Ruben Slick, Loaletta.
And these are mostly people that like you've actually been inspired by, like.
Oh yeah, and Southside from 808 Mafia. Yeah, like pretty much. I mean, I don't interview someone that I don't like.
So when it comes to like the interviews, like do you specialize in like people that you're a fan of or people you know a lot of, or would you like to venture into like interviewing different peoples that do like different types of things, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I had like a list of people I wanted to interview, like just to like if they like made an impact on my life or anything, then I pretty much interview them. Like it doesn't matter like if they're a rapper or like producer or anything. Like if I just watch their videos or something or I learned something from them, I'll interview them because I want to know more.
So like, whoa, Vicky.
Oh yeah, nah, but she's pretty funny.
You follow her?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're a fan?
I don't say a fan. I know her. Like I know of her.
Yeah,
so I thought it was pretty interesting.
I didn't know who she was, but my friend was like, "Oh my God, he interviewed Whoa Vicky!" Like, oh man, because she's a fan.
She is.
Yeah, I didn't know who she was.
It was funny because I watched a lot of like Rice Gum's videos and I saw like her on Rice Gum, and I was like, oh, that's a girl that was roasting Rice Gum.
Oh yeah. So when it comes to like these interviews and stuff, like how do you go about like networking with these people, like people you don't know?
mean, I just asked him, do you want to do an interview?
Through social media?
Some, like it depends who specifically.
Like YesJulz.
YesJulz. Well, yeah, I told her about it, and then she was down to do it. Yeah, she was down.
So she was sort of like you just messaged her through like what? Through like Snapchat or like?
No, through Instagram.
Oh, through Instagram.
Yeah, she was really nice to me.
Oh, that's tight. Yeah. So what did she say like when you interviewed her? Did she ask you any questions like, oh, like what are you doing with this? What is it for? Or what?
Yeah, she did.
What did she say?
I don't remember. I think she said something like, "What do you like to do?" I told her I make music and stuff, and I told her I like to interview people. And
you didn't show her your song?
I should have, right?
You should. Which one would you show her? Chicken Tender?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the one you promote a lot, right?
Cause I don't like telling people my songs during the interview because I feel like they're thinking, damn, he's just trying to like promote his music or something like that, you know.
So you think it's like awkward to like bring it up? But what if they like your music and they feel more comfortable with you?
I should, right? I should start doing that.
I don't know. It depends. Some people, I don't know if they'll care or not. I know the Marsha May one. She was like, "Yeah, I was jamming to it before you got here," or something like that.
She said that.
I think she said that.
I don't remember. That was so long ago.
She was like, "Oh yeah, I think it was on. I think I heard it."
Cause a couple people, like when I interviewed Adam, like when I talked to him, he told me like, "Oh, I just watched that video like 2 days ago." I was like, oh shit.
Cause you had sent it to him, right? You sent it to. Didn't they react to it?
Oh yeah, he wasn't. Well, he's seen it before, but I didn't know that he was like watching it like again.
Oh yeah. So how was it with him? Was he aware of your interview series?
No, yeah, he said he fucked with it. Well, can I curse?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he liked it. He said that that's what he wanted me to do. Like he said he started this because he wanted to inspire people, and he said that it was dope that he inspired me to do interviews.
And did you tell him like thank you or like oh yeah, I'm after you, bro?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm after his spot because I'm thinking like, I mean, a lot of people did say like, oh, you're like a fake no jumper, like Miami no jumper and stuff like that. I don't really like. I did like take his format, but the reason why I did that was because like, you know, it worked. You know, like why reinvent the wheel?
Okay.
You know? So it's like, like I believe in like having, it's like Apple. You know, you buy Apple because it looks good. It's the marketing. So like if you market it good, then people will look at it. So when you interviewed him and stuff, was that somebody who you thought would be like one of the big interviews that you wanted to get? Was that definitely. Like your top 10 but
interviews? I
wasn't satisfied with his because I actually have a lot of questions for him and I didn't get to ask them. Like it was on the spot, so I had to like think of questions on the spot.
So okay, so yeah, I feel you. So that one was probably one of the first ones where you were like on the road, like you just got up and like you weren't like sitting down doing the interview. What do you prefer? Do you prefer like sitting down or do you like being like sort of like on the go?
On the go, I don't think that was the first one. I think the first one I did on the go. No, I did a couple like Ruben Slick and Lofty was on the go. Well, like what do you mean? No,
I just meant like standing up.
Oh, standing up. Yeah. I think that was the first one, standing up.
Yeah, like standing up because
I mean we were like sitting on the plant. We're sitting.
You were posted.
Yeah, on the table.
Yeah, for sure. So as far as like doing the interviews and stuff, like what's been like an awkward one? Like one where like I don't know, like you didn't get the reaction from the person, and or you just you didn't feel like that vibe with them.
I don't know. I feel the same in all the interviews. I think.
How's that?
I don't even remember who I interviewed.
You forgot?
If I look at them, then I'll remember.
At the list?
Cause like I don't know, like sometimes my mind wanders when I interview people. I won't even lie about that. Awkward one. Probably Hurricane Irma, cause I didn't like that. Like I'd have to like leave my crib and stuff.
When you interviewed Hurricane Irma?
Yeah.
That was an awkward one for you?
Yeah. Cause I was like,
you didn't know what to ask it, or you weren't?
I think. Well, yeah, I was like trying to figure out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I think a funny one that I did though was like this girl. Her name was Savannah, cause I was like, are you about what you rap? Like, are you about what you sing about? Like, do you live what you sing about? She's like, what? And then she didn't understand the question. I was like, do you do you sing about the art? Like, do you live about what you make music about? And she was like, whoa. I didn't mean to say it like that, but I was like, it's just funny how it came out.
Yes. Have you ever like lost your temper or like just like been like I'm done, like I'll just wrap it up?
No, I don't have a temper.
Yeah, you don't have a temper. Okay.
I'm a really chill person.
Have you ever had to like has anybody ever told you like, yo, cut this part, or like, yo, delete this, or like whatever?
All the time.
Yeah. And what do you say?
Because I don't like to edit. Like, I don't like cutting stuff out.
Yeah.
I don't like taking things down or cutting things up. It's just like annoying. But
do you try to like go back and forth with them, like, nah, man, this and that, or you just do it, or you just ignore it?
I mean, before I did, but now I see like a bigger picture, and I don't really like, it's not a big deal to me anymore. The thing I don't like is when they're like, oh, cut this out the interview, but then they say that all you gotta really cut is this and that, because it's like, okay, if I don't have to cut that out, even though you said it, people are gonna watch it and be like, oh, he doesn't cut things out the interview, I'm not gonna do an interview with him. Even though they said, oh, you can leave that, but you know, I'm gonna cut out anyway because I don't want people to see that. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I was kind of confused. So what do you mean specifically?
All right, because look, if someone says 4 times in an interview, oh, take that out the interview, or we're gonna have to take that out the interview, right? And then after the interview, like when the camera's off, they say, oh, all you really got to cut out is just that one part I said this, and that's it, right? Mm-hmm. That's -1. But you still got 3 things in the interview he says. Cut that out of the interview during the thing, but he doesn't care if that's in.
Yeah.
So it's like, if someone else, if I'm like thinking about doing an interview and I'm watching it and they say, oh, cut that out the interview, and like, damn, he didn't cut that out. So if I do an interview, he's not going to cut nothing out.
Oh, I know what you mean.
But they don't, like, the person, they don't care about, me, them saying it. So I have to cut those 3 out, and then they get mad. Oh, why'd you cut those things out? Like, because you said, cut it out.
Do people ask you, like, before you start, like, oh, like, could you edit some stuff out if I say something I don't want to say?
Yeah, all the time.
Do you tell people, like, don't say something? Like, don't say anything? Because I just did an interview where, like the guy knew what we were doing, he had been on before, but then he was like, oh, do you think you could like edit out some of the stuff I said about Trump and stuff, because I don't want to get in trouble with my job? And I was like I don't know, man, like you kind of brought it up a lot.
I mean, if they're not signing anything, I feel like you should, because honestly, like, paperwork is important. I learned that recently.
So are you getting people to sign now?
No, well, after today, not after today specifically, but like, I'm trying to get around to that, because it's very important. I didn't realize how important paperwork was.
Yeah, for sure. So let me see. So what do you think is one of your best interviews where like you just felt like everything sort of clicked and like you had good you had like a good what do you call it,
rapport?
Yeah, like you clicked with the guest? I
mean, a lot of people don't think this, but Big Head's interview was,
I thought that one was good. I thought it was very,
because I really like him a lot, but people were saying, oh, you're so awkward, like, and I was like, what? That was like one of my favorite people.
So how do you feel about like the comments and stuff?
I mean, it's YouTube. I've been on YouTube for a long time. I've been a troll on YouTube longer than I've been on YouTube.
So like you kind of understand like the trolls?
Yeah, I understand them. I mean, sometimes they say hurtful stuff, but I mean, I understand it, because it's like, I gotta do better. But other times they're just like, I don't know, like everyone says the same thing, so I mean.
How do you go about like figuring out which part of their comments is like criticism and which part is just them just like hating just to hate, or like just joining the mob of comments?
I don't know, because like most of the time it's like, this interviewer sucks, right? That's all they say. So I'm like, okay, that's not constructive. But then sometimes they say, hey man, if you want to do better, you gotta do this. And it's like a long ass paragraph. So I'm like, okay. I read the whole thing, and then it's like, okay, I'll try to do that next time.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like most of the time it's kind of constructive, but it's still negative because they're like, yo, like, to be honest with you, bro, like, you're doing your thing, like, I respect it, but like you need to like stop being so awkward because this shit's getting like crazy, like, it's cringy type shit.
Honestly, I don't understand how it's awkward. I'm just like, that's how I talk to, like, I think it's people don't like my personality because I'm very like like low key kind of. I'm very like I was always like a quiet kind of person, like. But I mean, I've never like not quiet, but like I'm like able to like socialize, but I've just been like to myself pretty much. So I'm just like more chill.
I just think your style of personality already comes off a little like awkward with people, like just the Miami accent, like because I've done films where where like people would criticize the acting because it felt too Miami, and that's not what people are used to seeing.
Yeah, that's why, because everyone calls me a Mexican. They're like, oh, who's this Mexican kid?
No, you just have like a legit Kendall accent.
Fair.
Yeah, I know a couple people that have that, like Roberto Mario. He's like, yo, bro, like, yo, let's go, like, this and that. Yeah, like, there's only
I met him this weekend.
Yeah, you met him.
He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
What was I saying before? Oh, yeah. I love the comments, though, because they're always like, yo, you suck as an interviewer. You're going to have no future in this, although you're the shittiest interview. You need to stop. But, I respect your grind, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. And, one day you're going to get good and you're going to blow up. I'm like, you just said I'm not going to be nothing. So, like, how am I going to blow up?
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I think I honestly, that's why, like, when you were, even before you started, I'm like, I think this could work just because of the fact that, like, you're sort of like a character in itself. Like, sometimes people sort of like Nardwar. Like, Nardwar doesn't mean to be Nardwar. He's just Nardwar. And, like, for some reason, seeing Nardwar, like, interview Jay-Z, you're like, oh, how's this gonna happen? Like, or just a big artist.
Yeah, but I feel like Nardwar is more like has more of a personality than me. I'm just like, oh, what's up, guys? I'm just like, I'm very monotone.
I mean, it's just your own swag, I mean, who else is out here being like that,
Mars.
No, Mars is. I think he's a little more normal. Like, I think sometimes that can be a detriment because there's a difference between being like very bland. I mean, he's a good interviewer. I'm not talking about him specifically.
Yeah, shouts out to Mars.
Yeah, I'm not talking about him because his interviews are good from the ones I've seen. But I'm just saying.
He gets a lot of hate too.
Oh, I don't know. I've only seen it like
a few. Ruben Slick one. A lot of people say like, oh, Ruben Slick only has 2 interviews, and they both suck. He needs to get on.
I saw that one the other day. It was like it said like 6 months old, and I was like, oh, I never even knew this, and I was like, it was a good interview. Like he asked him
Mars.
The one that Mars did, and I was like, oh, this is a really good interview. Like he asked him every question that I could think, even questions that I would be like, I wouldn't ask him that because that's awkward.
Oh, I think Ruben Slicks was kind of awkward.
I didn't think it was awkward. It's just Ruben has a tone of speaking that is like it's a little alien,
He was also talking about jacking off a lot
in your interview and his too. Yeah. But that was hilarious.
Oh yeah, Mars's. I didn't like because the thing is, it was funny because before I knew Mars, I watched his Ruben Stick interview, and I was like, damn, this guy sucks. Like about Mars. Because like Mars was like making jokes about like like stuff that Ruben Stick was saying. Ruben's like, it's actually not funny because like and he felt like he made Mars feel like, oh damn, but it was like I thought it was kind of funny because
he said he was like so can you explain fish mix and how you like turn Rape Boss into a positive thing, and like I was like, how is he gonna do this? And like he did it, and I was like, oh wow, like Ruben's like hitting on all like cylinders today. Like
I should have watched that interview before I interviewed Ruben.
You didn't watch it? I watched it, and to me, I watched it a
long time ago. Because the thing is, one thing I learned about Ruben that got to me was that I shouldn't do research on people before I interview them.
Why?
Because the first time I met Ruben, it wasn't the first time, but like the first time I was about to interview him, I did a whole mess of research, and I was listening to all his music like for a whole day and stuff, and like I was just like looking up everything I could about him, and then like I went to go do the interview, and then he was like, oh nah, because I was doing another interview before that. And he was like, nah, I'm bored, I'm gonna leave. So he left, and I was like, damn. So I didn't get that interview. So I was like, you know what? After this, I'm not gonna do any research.
I feel you. So you were just like afraid that you were gonna like,
Yeah, bro. I'm like,
you afraid that you were gonna jinx it,
I'm curved. Oh. Dad, you got this. I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah, you keep it.
Nah, I don't wanna be jinxed, bro.
Hey, but yeah, I feel you. Sometimes you do a lot of research.
Look at this, bro. I went to Trap Circus, right? And that whole like week, I was like prepping for it, and I wrote down a whole bunch of questions for everyone, right? I saw the lineup. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get all these people and write down all questions. I didn't get to write down everyone, right? Guess who I didn't write down?
Who?
Adam22, Lil Tracy, Reggie Mills.
All the people you interviewed?
Yeah. I wrote down questions for Cardi B, Kodak, Rich Kid, Sean Bang. YesJulz. I wrote down questions for everyone. Only the ones that were blank, I got those interviews.
Damn.
But I only wrote those down. I didn't write those down because those were people I really wanted to know stuff about. So I was gonna write them down later, and I had like questions for them on my computer. But like, it was crazy how like the ones I didn't write down were the ones I got.
Yeah, that's weird. So like,
I swear, bro, it was like weird because I looked at it and I was like, damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I had seen Skater Montez vlog about that, and they were like, "Man, this boy prepared." You had like questions for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty crazy. So you didn't want to jinx it.
No, I didn't want to jinx it.
I feel you.
That's why I don't research people.
Yeah. So you don't. But I think it is good to research just in general.
No, it is good, of course. So you have something like a basis on what to ask. Because also, people don't like hearing the same things apparently. Because I like No Jumper because it's just a conversation, and sometimes Adam doesn't write down questions. So it's just like you're just having a conversation with somebody. Yeah, I think
when I first started watching Adam, I thought he was like an awkward interviewer. Like, why is this guy asking questions to these people? Like, he didn't look like the casual rap fan. But then little by little, I feel like he sort of like adopted into the culture and like adopted his swag and became friends with the people to the point that he's just as weird as the people he interviews, you know?
Yeah. I remember the first Adam interview I saw was with Puya, and everyone in the comments was hating on him so much. They're like, "Oh, who's this old guy interviewing Puya? Yeah. Like he doesn't even care about the culture. He doesn't even care about them. He's just asking questions to get clout and stuff." But then after a while, people started loving him. So I feel like that might happen to me because everyone hates on me now, but then.
I don't know, like it is one of those weird things where like, say you do an interview really good, you might not get that many comments, people just watch it and enjoy it, but if you do something where they feel like hating on it, they kind of add comments, which actually feels like it feels a discussion, especially if somebody's sort of like responding to that comment. Like if somebody says, oh, this is the worst interview ever, and then people are like, nah, stop hating, like this was a pretty good, like,
yeah, I got some supporters that come to my defense.
Yeah,
I fuck with you guys.
You want to shout them out?
I know Skater Montez does. He comes to my aid a lot. Be like, yo, shut up. You don't even know Nate.
You don't even. If you knew him, you knew that this is just how he usually is.
You be doing that? You comment? I feel like you sneak hate comments.
On yours?
Yeah.
Not really. I usually give positive stuff.
Bro.
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
No, I usually do positive stuff unless like it is something that is awkward, like something that is funny. Like I left one comment on the YesJulz one where I'm like, why was she being so cold to you?
Oh yeah, your YouTube is your name. That's right. So
yeah,
cause a lot of people their YouTubes are like different names. So I'm like trying to remember like who.
Yeah, mine's just like my regular YouTube name with my films and stuff.
What were you saying about the YesJulz interview?
That I don't know. Like I don't know if maybe you caught her like where she was kind of tired, but she seemed kind of. Yeah, she just seemed kind of out of it. Like she seemed like she was about to fall asleep. Like.
I mean, she was talking a lot. I feel like she was pretty cool.
Yeah.
She was pretty chill.
I don't know, like you guys look happy, like you guys look like ready to interview, and she just looked like kind of like
she was really
slumped.
Cause, I mean, I don't blame her. She worked hard. Like she was up all like the whole day, like doing events and stuff. Yeah. And then I had to call her like late at night, so then she was like hella tired.
You actually almost caught her You caught her not working.
She was still working though, cause
she worked. Yeah.
Yeah. She really never not. She really doesn't never not work.
So how was it afterwards? Did you feel like you could reach out to her again and she'll like remember you and like support you, or what do you think?
Yeah, I reached out to her again because I have some goals. Like I want to like host some big events like Rolling Loud and stuff, and I had to reach out to her about that, and she gave me some pretty good feedback.
What did she tell you?
She said like I should just before that, because I mean like she's already doing like this year, so like maybe like I should start like doing my own stuff, like doing my own events, hosting those instead of like just trying because I mean that's what I was planning on doing. So like I'm trying to be good at like hosting events, like trying to get my personality up more.
That's true. I mean, you've interviewed a lot of people, so like you can do your own like sort of 6 feet event, you know.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I'm not always like like super chill. Like if I'm on stage, then I know how to like turn things on. Like when I start making YouTube videos, like I know how to turn it on. Like, yo, what's up, guys? It's Torius, and
whoa, calm down, bro. Calm down, bro.
You feel me?
Too much energy, bro. Came out of nowhere, bro. Wait, can we do the rest? Can we do the rest of the interview turns? Nah, it's too. It takes too much of your energy. You'll drain like Goku.
Eee.
What's going on?
I got a cramp.
Oh damn.
Ah, fuck.
Hey, Flex, stand up, yo. Good job. Good job, yo. Oh wow. Good job. Ah man.
See, this is what happens with energy. That's why I gotta keep it low key, you know.
Damn, you cramped up just saying, hey guys, it's Victorious. Yo, you're wilding, family.
Damn, that shit hurt. Right, for real. Like, you're getting cramps easy. I don't need enough bananas. I need more bananas.
I could get you one, but I don't know if you want to eat a banana on the podcast.
Why not?
I get you one.
No, I'm just kidding, bro.
All right. Yo, so
I actually like this episode a lot. That was my favorite Teen Titans episode.
yeah, Teen Titans.
Hell yeah.
Tight.
Not Teen Titans Go though.
What's up?
Not Teen Titans Go.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So you said you could turn it up for your vlogs. How do you like the vlogs and stuff? I see you're doing a lot of stuff. Like you're like producing beats and you're like you're doing a lot on the same channel. Like I think that was actually a good idea to like sort of take your personal channel and put the interviews, but also like just your personal content as well, not just a solo 6 feet.
I'm thinking about doing that, about making 6 feet, but right now I want to like channel like different audiences so that people can watch. Like if someone's there, like I'm thinking like, oh, a rapper is like text like writing down in the search bar, I need like a Lil Xan type beat, and they find it and it's my beat, and then they see it and then they recommend it. It's like, oh, watch this too, watch his other stuff. So like, oh, who's this interview by? And then they click it and they see it's the same channel. Like, oh shit. So they look and they see more beats, and they also see other interviews, and they also see like whatever like vlogs and stuff, like my personal stuff.
How do you go about making so much content? It seems like you put out like at least a video a day.
I dropped a video every day for the past year and a half.
And how do you go about doing that? Are you on some Ritalin or something?
Nah, I'm just me.
You're just Torius.
Yeah, I just work. I never not work because I'm always doing stuff. Like I do tattoos too, and I draw, and I do a lot of stuff behind YouTube. Like it's not only YouTube. I do like there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes of 6 feet.
Like what?
Like a lot of paperwork and stuff I do. Like spreadsheets and stuff like that. And I also write a lot of stuff. Like I write. That stuff's coming later though. You're gonna see it.
You're doing an episode on what you do outside of interviews?
Yeah, I'm not always doing creative stuff. There's always like a lot of business stuff behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But I keep that like on the low key.
So what did you do before all this? Like what were you doing before all this?
I was just rapping, making beats.
And what were you doing for money?
I was working.
You just working a regular job?
Yeah.
And now are you still working, or are you just like full time doing the interviews?
Man, I work. I do work full time doing interviews because it's my it's like my own thing. Mm. So I gotta spend like all day like thinking about it. So I don't really have time to work a job. But at the end of the day, I need money for gas. So it's like I need to get to where I need to go. So I have to work a job just because
Yeah, because it just seems like a full-time grind. Like every day you're doing like 3 interviews. So it's like, how do you find time to do all that?
I mean, I feel like it's really easy.
It's easy.
I mean, it's easy to do it. It's just not easy working with people. It's the people that make it difficult.
Yeah, because that's kind of like the hardest thing for me is getting people together, whether it's interviews or it's like film. It's just like creating a schedule where I'm free and they're free and we have the time to do what we need to do, especially when it's multiple people you're trying to set up on the same date. I think that's the most stressful part, is like having everything together, having your crew, but having like your guests and your talent and
that's
all that.
Definitely the hardest. Like the hardest thing for me is actually finding time to do those things that I do. It's hard for me to find time to like edit videos and do interviews because a lot of bullshit happens throughout the day.
Do you ever get like sort of pissed off? Like, I mean, I know you said that you're like naturally like happy or whatever, but do you ever like sort of get like frustrated with trying to get a guest? Like you go back and forth, but you can't set up like a date.
Hell yeah, bro. Shouts out Icy Narco. I'm gonna try to interview you pretty soon. I've been trying to get you, but he wants to do every interview but mine. Yeah, but I got love for Icy Narco. He's coming up.
For sure. But like, have you ever felt like, you know what, I give up on this person, like until they reach out or whatever?
No, bro, I don't give up on anyone. Like if I want you on my show, I'm gonna get you.
Damn. So you're just like a Pokemon master, in that sense.
I'm a Jinx.
You don't gotta be a Jinx, bro.
What again?
You could be a Taurus.
Learn about the Torius.
Torius.
Oh yeah, I was making Pokemon videos before that too.
Yeah. And what's your overall passion in general? Is doing like, what would you say you're most comfortable that you can do it all day? Is the interviews, the Pokemon drawings, or
Jerking off.
come on, man, you're not Ruben Slick, man.
I'm just kidding.
You gotta say it in your happy Torius voice.
I don't know. I don't even like doing anything, to be honest. I like sleeping. That's like my biggest passion because I love to be asleep.
That's my biggest passion too. That's the hardest thing, is you're like, I could be doing this, but sleeping sounds so much better.
Yeah, it does. I don't even know, like, because I do so much stuff. It's like, I don't even want to do so much stuff, honestly. I just like drawing. Like, that's my, like, when I just know drawing makes me happy. And so I do that. But I like interviews because, you know, I'm like helping other people. So it's like, I do the interviews just to help people. But then, like, for me, I just draw because that makes me happy.
So that's your personal passion.
Yeah.
Outside of, so you feel like you do the interviews to help people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I feel so too, because it's like you can just meet up and have a conversation with somebody, but when you do the interview, it's like I want to like sort of like link with that person and like have a beneficial thing where like not only like to help that guest, but also to help like people watching that want to know more about that person. You know.
You know what the most underrated interview I did was?
Which one?
Yours. Because I actually learned a lot from you.
For real?
Yeah, from your interview.
I actually wish I was like, damn, I wish we'd done another one, because I felt,
another one.
because I just kind of felt like I sort of talked a lot about my past, but I felt like I wanted to talk a little bit more about like the present and just sort of like other things.
I can do a couple interviews with you because you're like full of information.
Yeah, like I was like, when I went into it, like we were talking a lot, and I was like, bro, there's a lot of politics and stuff. At that time, I was sort of like transitioning out of music videos, because I just sort of like, I was like, bro, like I don't feel like anybody cares. Like, you're doing so much work to try to help somebody else get clout, and I'm like, bro, like let me just work on my own stuff. So I was feeling kind of saucy in a sense. Like I was like, bro,
music too.
I not really. But it was just like at that time, like I just felt like talking about that, because I never talk about that, like my past in music and stuff. But definitely like I just felt like there was more I could say about working with artists and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
But it just depends. Like I feel like at that time, like for me, like I could talk about anything. And I was like open to some guests. You gotta like pressure them to get into details. Me, I was like open, but you weren't asking the right questions for me. Like I was like, bro, if you would have asked this, I could have told him this, you know.
I was still new. You're like my third interview or something. I think you're like third or fourth.
Yeah, but I was just like, because I
like
did
getting used to it.
I did want to talk more, and I did want to like just tell you stuff or whatever, just like because we kind of know the same people, and we're like going through the same thing.
Yeah, but you weren't talking just me. You're talking about audience.
Huh?
You weren't only talking to me. You were talking to the audience I have as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true, because like for me, I was like trying to think like what your audience would.
I mean, back then I didn't even have an audience. I had like, just like the people that watch me do stuff.
But the future audience, that's important.
Nah, yeah.
Because I think about that. I'm like, bro, like even if this joint only gets 20 views or 60 views, like once you do a big name, people are gonna like fall like into like a hole and just start watching all the interviews.
Yeah,
you know?
that's what I thought of, like, because people don't understand that. Like people don't understand like everything you do is a seed, you know. So it's like people just want like, because like people just want a tree. People don't want the seed. They don't want to wait 20 years for the seed to grow into a tree. They want the tree now. But if you like take a tree from like a place and put it somewhere else, it's gonna die, right? I don't know if it's gonna die for real, but like metaphorically, it's gonna die. So like you can't get the tree without the seed, so you have to plant the seed first, and then eventually, because like I watch my numbers every single day, right? So to me, it is like I see it growing. But to me, I see it growing. It's like if I'm looking at the seed every day, I should probably stop looking at it, because that's how other people are seeing it. Because to me, I don't even feel like I'm that big. Like I feel like I'm like, you know, I just started.
I mean, it is weird, because it's like when you look at something you do and you compare it to something else, it's like hard for you to even know where you're at, because like there's people that's been doing podcasts for 5 years and they may have like a loyal audience of like 75 people. you know. But then there's other people, like the way you did it, because you got such big guests that like not all your videos are like hitting top numbers, but like the ones you have are like booming out, you know.
Yeah.
And that's pretty good because it trickles down to your branding, where like now you're gonna get more subscribers, so like every video you put up new is gonna get a certain number, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I also know that interviews are like long, you know. So like all my interviews are like an hour or something. So it's like, of course they're not gonna have views because, you know, most people, they're gonna watch them on their time. Because I mean, I still watch No Jumper interviews from like 3 years ago, like two years ago.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I'll watch like 10 minutes, and then maybe like a week later I'll watch like 15 more minutes, and it's just like continue.
Yeah, because you don't have to, it doesn't have to like, I mean, you lose a little bit of context, but like you just pick it back up, you know, like when you watch it again. I mean, like if you're a diehard fan, you're gonna watch the whole thing. Yeah. You know, but if you're just like a casual watch, like my interviews aren't really for casual watchers. That's why like the bigger ones are like smaller. Even though I want to like ask them more questions, but I like condense it more because they are like casual watchers. So it's like, if you like really like it, you'll watch the other ones, and those people are the ones that the artists want to have, like, you know, follow them because they're more invested. So if they're invested into watching the whole hour-long interview, they're gonna be more invested into like checking on your stuff.
Yeah, I think like when it comes to like podcasts and stuff like that, like you get into it maybe for the guest sometimes, depending on the type of podcast, or for the host. And if eventually you build up like your character as a host, where people get familiar with your character and they're like, yo, I need to see this interview, even if they don't know who the person is, because they're like, I want to see how you tackle this interview with this person who does whatever, you know. Yeah,
because there's a lot of podcasts I listen to, I hate the host at first, but then after a while it's like I'm used to it.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Oh, that's just like Joe, or that's just like Mike, or whatever. That's just like.
Sometimes I kind of like, I like the host, but then I'll kind of like be like, I'm not gonna listen for a few like weeks because like I get kind of tired of them telling the same story, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of like Nori. Like Nori's cool, but then like
Nori,
every episode, he kind of says like the same story and asks the same question, you know.
I haven't checked out his podcast yet.
Yeah, but I mean like I think it's interesting because like everybody that knows you, they're like, oh my god, like, yo, did you see the new 6 Feet interview with this person? And you're like, damn, how do you get that person? And they'd be like, yeah.
What is up, guys? It's Torius here with Rebel Films.
Yo, if you did an entire podcast like that, like people would be shocked.
I'm like trying to. I want to, but it's like I don't have a lot of energy.
But you can't maintain that energy. How long do you think you can maintain the energy where you just get slumped?
Probably like 2 seconds.
For real? That's all you could do?
Yeah.
I mean, you did cramp up last time. Are you cramping up right now?
That's why I was like trying not to, so I didn't cramp up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like when I do put that energy out, it comes better, right? It's just maintaining, because I always start every interview like, all right, 6 feet going deep. It's Torius with, and it's like, so what do you do? And it's like back to how I was.
Yo, that's true. Yeah, you do start like confident and loud, and then you're like, so
I think my phone,
what got you into making music?
I don't know why I can't like just maintain it. Like I'm trying to focus on like building that, like trying to do that.
Is it just your pure energy, or is it just like, or is it like you get nervous or something?
I'm just listening to what they're saying, honestly.
So you're just casual. You're just being cash. And
that's because I mean I want to act. So like, if acting, you have to be in the energy, right? I feel like if I'm scripted, then I can. But since I'm unscripted, I have to think of like what to ask next. So it's like, you know, I'm in the middle of thinking what to ask next, as well as like listening to what they're saying. So like sometimes I forget what I'm gonna ask. I'm just because I'm so engaged in what they're asking and what they're saying. But then I'm just like, dang, I forgot what to ask.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, let's see what's up. Oh, we've been going hard, but I thought we were going longer. Damn, we're doing good. Keeping it short, and I feel like we asked a lot of good stuff. Is there anything that you would think that I should ask you? Any questions that you would that you would think, if you were me right now and I was 6 feet interviews, what question would I ask you? Torius from 6 feet.
I don't remember. I had a bunch of questions. Like I thought you were gonna ask me.
What'd you think?
I forgot. I have questions in my book.
Did you write questions that you thought I was gonna ask you to prepare?
Yeah, because I want to start writing questions down, like
I've learned that like one of my friends Edo, like when we were doing a sort of podcast for something else, and I would see the way he did it, and that's why I kind of learned how to do the podcast. And I was like, I would realize even if he's getting interviewed, he would sort of list his own topics on what he would want to talk about. So he's not allowing it to chance, you know. Like he'll sort of like sway the interview wherever he wants. He'll be like, okay, this happened today, this happened, this. So like, no matter what people, you know, where the conversation goes, he knows where to go. Whether he's the host or he's getting interviewed, you know.
No, yeah, that's a smart idea. I mean, there's not a lot of things I want people to know about me, because I talk a lot, but I don't like talking too much about myself.
Well, you do have that. You did have that the interview of 6 Feet where it was Torius, and that was a very informational podcast. I mean,
what was informational about it?
I don't remember. I watched it a long time ago, but I was like, oh, he has a lot of good questions about himself. But I think the main questions that everybody wants to know are like, how do you get your interviews? Why are you so awkward? Why?
I get my interviews because I'm part of the Illuminati, but don't tell anybody.
All right, for sure. Then I mean that's a key. Be a part of the Illuminati.
People be commenting that like, yo, what's this guy Illuminati? How's he getting all these interviews?
You're just a fan, really. Like you've met people throughout the years and stuff.
No, yeah, because they see like, cause I be going like backstage and stuff. I'd be like around these people, like they be in my vlogs and stuff like that. So like, yo, how is this guy getting like cool? Like, cause I come out of nowhere and like I'm already like around all these people. So I mean, I don't feel like I came out of nowhere. Like I did 100 interviews before I did like anyone like big.
No, I know. Yeah, I know, but the thing is the way you did it was like, it's one thing when you see somebody sort of evolve and get better over time, but the amount of time, even for you, it probably doesn't feel like that much. But to come up in like 6 months and like have like the growing fan base and be able to interview the people that you've interviewed, because those are, not to say like they're the biggest interviews you can get, but in the genre of like who your audience is and like the type of stuff you like, you got to do a lot of people, you know.
I mean, I don't feel like it's that crazy for me, because I read a lot of books and I also listen to a lot of like self-help stuff and motivational stuff. Like I listen to a lot of Ty Lopez. Like a lot of people hate him, but he actually like talks about like a lot of good stuff.
Gary Vee.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of Gary Vee. I listen to a lot of like Les Brown.
And you listen to these like on like 1.5 speed?
No, 2 times speed.
Cause I hear when you're like drawing or something and you're listening like
yeah, like it got to a point where I can't even talk, like have normal conversations with people unless they're talking fast. Like my attention span is so low. It's like unless people are like talking super quick to me, it's like damn, I can't.
You zone out. Yeah, I feel you. So yeah, I mean, let me think if there's anything else. I think we're good. I think
the reason I started doing interviews is because like a lot of people think it's like, oh, he wants to be like No Jumper, but honestly, it's because like I did an interview with these people, and then I waited like a whole year for it to come out, and it never even came out. They're like, oh, here, just put it here you go. They didn't even put it anywhere, and I was like, damn, for real? I waited a whole year for the interview, and he didn't even put it anywhere. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do an interview, and like I'm gonna drop it every day. I'm gonna drop an interview every single day, so like people don't have to wait for their interviews.
Yeah.
But now like it's like at first I was doing that, like everyone, like once you did an interview, I dropped it the next day, so people were like, oh shit, you dropped here, it already dropped.
Yeah. But
then like now it's like I wait, like because I was doing one every single day. Now I do one every 2 days, so it's like it's crazy how like things add up, because it's like just skipping one day, I already have like 50 interviews I haven't dropped just because of that. I was going at the same speed I was before, but now I just have so many more interviews like backed up. Like I don't even have to do an interview for the next like 2-3 months.
That's good. Yeah, I mean that's regular people, bro. Regular people will do like 3 in a week and be good for 3 weeks, you know.
No, yeah, but I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to drop, because I like I'm very big on 2 like key things, like the law of asking and the law of consistency. Like consistency is very key to me, because I don't really believe in like quality over quantity. I believe in quantity over quality, because nowadays people don't really care about stuff. They just want what's next, what's new, what's next, you know? So people, like even if it's not good, they just want something else. You get me? So as long as you're consistent, you're giving people something. We also live in America. People are fat. People like to overindulge. So
I don't know why you just called out America. America. But whatever.
Most people in America
could have said obese, but whatever. Do it to them.
Fat people.
Fling, you're fat. You're fat. Lose some weight, you American.
No, but yeah, people like to overindulge. People like to spend time doing stuff. You know, like people don't want to be like. Honestly, people don't care about like, oh, I'm dropping this in 2 days, and in the next week we got this coming out. You know, that's why TV failed, because we live in an on demand. We want to see stuff on demand. Like, who cares? Like, when you're gonna drop something, just drop it.
Yeah, I see. You don't really tease it. You just drop it like on the channel. And you're like, up now.
Yeah, cause I mean, teasing is good. I learned that recently. Like, but at the same time, you know, like people want to see stuff. People don't care about like teasing. Like that works for movies and stuff, maybe. But I mean, like this is the internet. Like, if I wait a week to do an interview, like other people are gonna drop other interviews, and they're not gonna like, you know, they're not really waiting. Like, oh, when's the next? I mean, now they're probably waiting because, you know, I built up momentum. But before, when I started, like no one was waiting for the next 6 feet interview. They're like, because everyone was watching it. So like, what's the point of teasing someone if they're not even waiting for it? You get me?
It's lit, bro. That's a key right there.
But also, that's
a key.
The law of asking too, because you don't ask for something, you're not gonna get it. So people are scared to ask for stuff. So
you like to be asking, or you like when people ask for your interviews?
I like to be asking.
So you like to like continue to ask for things.
What?
No, like you believe that if you keep asking for new interviews and stuff, that what's gonna happen? That it's gonna continue your success.
Feel like don't be scared to ask someone for something. Like if you want something, just ask someone for it. They might say no. Okay. Like I'll go to stores and be like, hey, can I get this for free? And then they'll be like, okay. They just give it to me. Like that shit actually, like, you know, like you can do that. They'll say no. Okay. You move on.
Yeah, that's dope.
You feel me?
No, bro, like that's dope, man. That's why I wanted to interview you, because like regardless to what people say about you in interviews being awkward, or however you feel about yourself being asked questions, I feel like you have an approach in which it's working for you. You know, like what you're doing is working. And some people, they overthink things. Even you said that you sort of waited too long to start your own podcasting, that you could have gotten, you know, XX or big people if you would have started a little earlier. Yeah. But when you did start, you were able to capitalize off all these people that were on your list, you know, people that you would want to interview. So I think it's inspirational, because a lot of people overthink things and they wait too long to get to it, and then somebody else does it, you know. And like a lot of things you're saying about not being afraid to ask, and being consistent, and not worrying so much about the quality, but just asking, being consistent. It's a very simple, fundamental approach, but it's obviously been very successful for you.
Yeah,
you know,
like you know who Dr. Oz is? He said, when like, it's also about like, you know, I do a lot of stuff, but it's also about like, you know, just like cutting everything down to like being good at like 2-3 things. You know, like when he does surgery, he does open heart surgery, but his job is super easy. Like he doesn't have to like prep the patient. He doesn't have to tell them like, okay, this is gonna go. He doesn't do anesthesia. He doesn't do none of that stuff. All he does, he has like a whole bunch of people that helps him do that. But then like what he does is he just goes in there, he does click, 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 and he's out. That's it.
So as far as where you're at now, what is something you think you've learned that has like changed the way you're approaching everything you're doing? What's something that you've learned over the process? Because you've done so many, I'm sure you've learned a lot of different things, you know. That so what's something that you learned that makes you, that you're using in your new interviews, and what's something that you're thinking to apply in the future, or like your goals, you know, for that?
I learned to like try to make a friend while I'm doing interviews, because at the end of the day, it is a good way to network with people. But like, because with me, it's like I have friends, but it's hard for me to make friends because I'm so busy all the time, and I don't really have time to like chill with people and stuff, because it's hard to make time for myself. So it's like I don't have to make time for like another person. So it's like if I can make a friend out of the interview, I'll try to. I'm not like the greatest at like keeping up relationships, but like I'll try to, because you know, you never know who like a person will meet, or like you never know if you click with somebody, you know. So like I'm trying, like, and especially if you're a friend with someone, the interview goes a lot better, because you're just like, you know, you already have that vibe.
I saw that with GFX. Like the way you started the interview was like we just recorded the interview and it didn't record or like it shut off.
Yeah, bro. Shouts out to GFX. He's the best cameraman in Miami. If you want to do a video and not have the camera rolling, hit up GFX.
Damn.
He does really good videos.
But the reason I said it was interesting was because have you had met him before you did that interview?
Yeah, that's my boy.
Oh, okay, cool. Because you just seem very friendly in general, and I didn't know if it was because it was the second take or because
that wasn't the second take. That was like the fourth.
God,
yeah,
you guys are incompetent.
And we did another one that he hasn't dropped. He's like, we did another one. He's like, I don't want to drop it. I want to do another one. I'm like, bro, I did 5 interviews for you. For like real? Most people don't even get 1. You got 5. Like,
that's wild.
I know.
That's crazy. So you haven't done any part 2s yet. Who's gonna be your first part 2?
I've done part 2. I did a part 2 of VFX Kid.
But it's out?
Is it out? No, I did a part 2. These guys, Sway Gang. I did theirs individually. Like they did one as a group, and then I did part 2s with them. Mm-hmm. And then I did I don't know. I've done a lot of part 2s, but they're coming.
For sure. So if you want to just shout out the team, say everybody that helps you and their roles and like what they help out on.
Shout out to Nick Torius. He does everything by himself.
Shout out Nick Torius. Hey boy, it's your boy Nick Torius. What's up?
What's up, guys? It's Nick Torius here. I just kidding. Nah, shouts out GFXG. He's my cameraman. Shouts out Louis Hayes. Shouts out Doughboy. Shouts out Don't Trust This Man. Shouts out Jerry. I don't know. Shouts out Scary Montez and his crew. Scary Montez is cool. Shouts out Lil Ominous. Trap Star. All them boys. I don't know. There's a lot of people.
For sure.
I mean, like, the team is small, but, like, shout them out.
No, I mean, when I hit you up and I said, yo, I want to interview the 6 Feet crew, you're like, it's just me. And I was like, damn, I know somebody's holding that camera.
I mean, not really. Remember, I had a tripod. Shouts out to my tripod.
Shouts out to the tripod, yo.
I mean, the good quality ones, those are GFX, but, like, everything else is, like, pretty much me. I just go and meet up with someone and just do it. Like how you doing right now?
Yeah, for sure. I feel you. Yeah, so, what was I going to say? Okay, yeah, so, basically, the way I do mine at the end, we have a title that we, it's like a name, like in quotes. So, what should we call this one? Because it's going to be starring Nick Torius.
Nick Torius is 6 feet.
Is that the best we can do?
Chicken tender sub.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty lit. I like that. Yeah. Chicken tender sub. Has it been doing good?
It was doing good. I don't know what happened.
How much you got now?
It's like 144K.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it's alright.
Yeah, I feel you. Yo, so okay, yeah. One last question that I like. What's it called? I always ask everybody, so I might as well ask you too. What was the first movie that you saw that you can remember?
The Pokemon movie. Pokemon first movie.
For real?
And I cried.
You cried? Which part?
When Ash died. Because I loved Ash.
He died in the first one?
You never seen the first movie?
Did he resurrect at the end?
Yeah, of course. Bro.
Oh, no, because I forgot it, bro. I did see it too, but I just don't remember it. Like, but I saw...
remember that movie very vividly. I remember who was sitting next to me and everything.
I saw recently they like sort of re-released it and they gave Pikachu a voice, which is like, I love you, Ash. You didn't see that? Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, you didn't see it? And the whole crowd in the movie theater was like, oh! Everybody hated it.
What the hell?
I don't know. You gotta look it up. It's on YouTube.
That's really funny.
Yeah, everybody was like, yo, so apparently Pikachu speaks English.
You should ask me about like pet peeves of like interviews and stuff.
Like, what's your pet peeve?
I don't even know. Nah,
you told me to ask you a question and then you said I don't know.
Because I want to say stuff that rappers do, but I mean I don't want to out no rappers. Like they're my core audience, so I don't want to like, make them feel like damn he don't even like us.
Damn.
Nah, I'm just kidding. No, but rappers are kind of hard to work with because they always be like, yo, I'm driving this Ferrari, I'm driving this Lambo, and then I hit them up like, yo, bro, I ain't got no ride. I'm like, what you mean you ain't got no ride? You driving the Lambo. Yeah,
for sure. You know what? I'm just realizing right now I messed up, bro. I messed up this whole interview. We might have to delete all this.
Why?
Cause I didn't bring you chicken tender sub,
Yeah,
bro.
you didn't.
I slacking, bro.
It's there. I'm on a diet though, so
Yeah,
I only
feel
eat
you.
diet chicken tender subs now.
Diet chicken tender subs, bro. This is like when was his name Lil Xan, no young what is it Lil Xan changed his name or whatever.
He did.
You remember he said like I don't do Xans.
What did he do?
He says his name's Lil Xan, but he doesn't promote Xan usage. He doesn't like
yeah.
Xans.
Nah, he doesn't. And stop Sans 2018.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do drugs, by the way.
Yeah, I can tell.
Is that sarcastic?
Nah, I just figured you didn't do drugs. How you gonna get anything done if you did drugs?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Unless you did some like other drugs. I'm not familiar with the drugs that make you proactive.
Adderall.
Oh yeah. Well, I already asked you about that. You said no.
I think about doing it sometimes. I'm like, I should do Adderall to like get some stuff done, but I don't really want to put too much stuff in my body like that.
Well, it seems like you're getting a lot done now, so I wouldn't change the format. It seems like you're doing a lot, you know.
Nah, yeah, I want to get more done.
All right, for sure. So, thank you. It's been 6 Feet Interviews. Just kidding. It's Rebel Film Talk. And we had Torius.
You should ask me why I scratch my chin a lot.
Why you scratch your chin a lot?
Saying that, like, why does man keep touching his chin? Why does man keep scratching his chin?
Because you're thinking.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this has been 6 feet.
Wait,
Rebel
one more
Film
question.
Talk.
One more question. Where'd you get the name 6 Feet?
My dick's 6 feet. I'm just kidding. Cause that's what I said. That's what I told her. Cause Gator Montez, his thing was Coughing Club, and you know, it was like, cause we were supposed to do it together, so it's like Coughing Club, and then I'm like, yo, we're gonna be doing Underground People. Why don't we call it 6 feet?
Bro, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, bro. Oh my God. So there you go, man.
Sure.
All right, yo. Thank you, Torius, for coming through. This is Rebel Film Talk, and
Thank you for having me, Rebel Film Talk. Shout outs to you.
yo, one more sign out.
What's up, guys? It's Torius here, and we out. Ow, my leg.